to my channel. It's been a couple of days since I've posted my last video, and I thought today will be a really good this camera is like wonky. Anyway, today would be a really good opportunity to talk about something that I've been struggling with for the last couple of days now, and actually throughout my whole life. So I thought that I would just share with you things that I've done to help me with this issue, and just make it easier on myself and I guess those around me, as the way I feel does affect everyone around me. So today I'd like to discuss the topic of ways to improve your body image. Now, body image has been something I've struggled with my whole entire life. Being 25 years old, I know you think, oh, well, you haven't really had that much of life, to be able to say that. But as far back as I can remember, I've always compared myself to my friends, even in, primary school. From the age of about 8, I started noticing that I was a lot bigger than other kids. Not fat, I was never fat, and I wouldn't call myself fat or overweight, but I was just bigger, just chubby, and I had all these friends that were really skinny and tiny. So I started noticing that from about the age of 8, and throughout my whole high school career, I constantly was just comparing myself to the way other girls looked and their bodies, and it just made me feel so, I would say, sad. I would just always wish that I could look like them, or I would do things that obviously was not healthy to be able to change my body and to force it to change. And I would just go to extreme measures, just to feel better about the way I looked. And I've always felt like that's always been out of my control. Like I couldn't change my body, and I had to kind of go to really unhealthy lengths and measures to be able to see any kind of change in my body. And it's always just been a part of me. I've always just felt like I needed to look like girls that I see on social media or in the media, celebrities, all that kind of stuff. And I think we do have a lot of pressure coming from media and social media to look a certain way. And as much as I'd like to say like it's bullshit, a lot of people, or most of us, believe that, even though we kind of have these like reality checks where we're like, well, you can't look like those people because X, Y, and Z, but you still catch yourself kind of going through those motions, comparing yourself, kind of doing all the exercises and eating a certain type of way because you've seen somebody else do it and it might work for them and they are seeing results, so you jump on that bandwagon. So today I just want to kind of talk about things that I've done and that I've implemented into my daily routine and my days, and especially into those days where I'm feeling really, really self-conscious and just like in my own head, kind of just going around in the motion of I'm not good enough, why can't I look like them, and that whole kind of aspect around body image. So the first thing I want to talk about is to appreciate what your body can do. Now, this is always something that I forget to do. I get so sucked into what my body can't do and what I wish it could do, and I forget to just kind of zone in and think about what my body can do and what it has done. So for me, coming from anorexia, I need to remember that I've put my body through so much, and just being able to, maintain my weight and have enough energy to be able to work out and just move around again should be enough for me. I should be grateful that that's what my body can do, because in the past it couldn't do that. So that's the first thing I like to zone in on, is become aware of what my body can do and be grateful for what my body can do, and stop wishing that it could do more at this point in time. So the second thing I want to touch on is to look at yourself as a whole. So what I mean by that is not just focus on the physical part of your body, be mindful of your mind, your emotions. So look at your body as a whole. So there's so much more than just your physical appearance. You have so much more to offer than just your physical appearance. And I fall into this trap quite often, where I look at myself in the mirror and some days I'm not very happy with what I see, and I don't feel so great about the way I look. And I forget that, my mind plays a part too, and I have other aspects other than my physical aspects that are just as amazing. So try to remember that you are not just what you see on the inside. There's so much more to you. My third point would be to really become aware of how you feel when you are on social media. I went through a phase where I unfollowed about 600, 700 people I was following, because I caught myself scrolling and I just felt terrible. I had these thoughts of, wow, I wish I could look like her, and that is my dream body, and oh look, she's on this diet and she looks so amazing. And for me, being someone who compare myself with other people, I have to be so aware of that. I have to be aware of the way I feel when I'm on social media, when I'm scrolling. And I've made a vow to myself that if they make me feel those emotions, like I need to change something about myself, go on this diet, or wow, I can't achieve that kind of goal that she set for herself, I immediately just unfollow, because it does more damage to me. And I'm not calling out other people and saying they shouldn't be posting that stuff. Like, power to them. You can post whatever you want. But personally, for me, I need to be so careful with kind of just scrolling and like mindless thinking, that kind of stuff festers into my mind, and subconsciously I start thinking that. And I've got quite an addictive personality, so I'm the type of person that if I set my mind to something, I will do anything to achieve that. That's just something to become aware of, is how you feel while you're on social media. Just remember that social media is like a highlight reel. Nobody is perfect, and what you see on social media isn't always true. The next point I want to touch on is to remind yourself that beauty isn't always physical, or it isn't physical. Instance to seeing yourself as a whole. There's so much more to you than just the way you look. And that is something that I need to remind myself on the daily, because my body image stems from what I see myself as. Always remember that beauty is not physical, and I know it can be difficult. It can be so hard when you are so fixated on the way you look, and the media boasting about all these like fitness models and all those kinds of things. Everybody is different. Like, nobody has the same body. And as much as I wanted like shredded abs and the nicest toned arms. That's not what I'm built like, and that's not what my body is going to be like. So it's very unrealistic for me to expect my body to get to that point. It's just super important to remember that there's so much more to just the physical aspect of the way you look. I also like to make a list of things I like about myself. So a few months ago, somebody asked me, like, name 3 things you like about yourself, and I couldn't because I was in such a bad place. It's always difficult when you're in a really bad place, when you see yourself physically don't like what you see. It's so difficult to find something you do like. So when you are feeling like that, it's such a good challenge to just write down, start with 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, and you'll see slowly, the more you read it to yourself, the more you repeat it, the more you start believing it. And this has been true for me. I can confidently say I can look in the mirror and name things about myself that I really like. And it doesn't have to be physical things. Take care of yourself. You know, I like to exercise. Exercise is my stress reliever. It makes me feel really good. It makes me proud of my body. It boosts my mood. It does everything for me. So I like to train. That just puts me in a really good mindset. So find something that you like to do and take care of your body. Because if you love your body will love you back. And that's something I've really come to understand. Loving your body and looking after it and making sure that it's taken care of. Your body's gonna love you back. And it's actually so amazing what your body can do if it has all the right things in place. And that's physically, mentally, nutritionally, emotionally. All those things come into play. And it's so important to have all those factors, really look after all those factors, because they're all linked together. So you have to make sure you touch on every single aspect of what makes your body feel good and what makes your body healthy. When I'm feeling really, really low, I like to just focus my energy on something else. Just takes my mind off festering about my body and having these negative thoughts about my body. So find something that just distracts you, and I promise you within like an hour, 2 hours, you'd even forget you felt that way, you know. So whatever it is that makes you feel happy or brings you joy, try and do that. And I know it's not always possible, and it can be difficult to do that when you're in such a bad mindset, but the worst thing I can do for myself is, when I'm feeling like that, is going on my phone or scrolling social media or that kind of thing, because it just adds to it. I just like to go for a walk, watch a movie, or kind of just surround myself with other people, because it takes my mind off of it. So it can definitely help you just get over that kind of time where you're so in your own head, consumed by your thoughts and what you're thinking and how you're feeling, that finding something that makes you happy and you like doing could be so helpful in this time. Pamper yourself. Make a list of things that you like about yourself. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel this way, and you're not the only person that feels this way. What you're seeing on social media isn't always the truth. So I hope these tips will help you if you're feeling this way, and learn to accept yourself in a world that is kind of just pushing all these crazy ideals that most people just can't reach. You do you, and you find what works for you, and these really help me to deal with my body image issues and when I am feeling really bad. So I hope they help you, and let me know if you would like any more videos like that. I will see you in the next video.